There are two of the most populous states in the country, California and Florida. Each handled the pandemic, as you know, much differently.
And those differences have led to different virus survival rates and economic impacts in those states. NewsNation correspondent Nancy Liu live in L.A. with more on this story. Nancy.
And Rob, two large states, two very different responses to the pandemic with comparable results. The discussion is heating up comparing California to Florida, but according to some experts, it is an unfair comparison.
Good enough never is, and I recognize we still have a lot more work to do.
Governor Gavin Newsom has been out and about at vaccination sites practically daily to highlight the state's progress in returning to a new normal.
California has administered more vaccines than any other state in this nation by a significant factor, over 10.6 million.
With about 40 million residents, the country's most populous state was in a hard lockdown exactly a year ago, and face masks have been mandated since June. In Florida, which has about half the population, there was a stay-at-home order last spring, but there has never been a mask mandate. Governor Ron DeSantis has drawn praise since Florida's death rate is just slightly higher than California's.
We've done it in a way, instead of always locking people down, trying to lift people up, saving people's livelihoods, saving their jobs, saving their businesses.
The California economy is battered and unemployment is over 9%. But experts say more lives have been saved here. According to analysis by the LA Times, if California had Florida's death rate, an additional 6,000 people would be dead. And California's rate in Florida would mean 3,000 lives saved.
It is appropriate to look at different states and say, oh, that's interesting and whatnot. But we cannot just say like, Florida and California had the same policy on the books that Florida and California would have had the exact same COVID death rate.
Public health experts point out local mask mandates in Florida and non-compliance in California. Also of note, about twice as many Californians who live in overcrowded housing where coronavirus transmission is more likely.
It's like playing cards. You play the deck of cards that you are dealt. And California was dealt a different deck of cards compared to Florida.
Another point, higher humidity in Florida, which is believed to tamp down spread.
The big surge in California was totally different variants that made the virus more transmittable, and we were caught out of guard in California and in many places with these new variants.
We just have to be really circumspect before we, start dunking on one governor or the other.
Health experts maintain that staying home and masking do make a significant difference in curbing the spread of coronavirus, and that states should really only be compared to themselves. Live in LA, Nancy Liu, NewsNation.